Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Monday Night Clears. I am your host, Small Nixie, as always, because I'm the one that records. If I'm not here, the show doesn't happen. Unfortunately, this week we are down our usual co-host. Like, it feels bad calling him a co-host because, like, he's like as important as I am. But unfortunately, he isn't here right now. But we are back with our co-host that is now reliable enough to call a permanent fixture of the show.
Yeah, it's me, Emma, Goro, Lilja, whatever.
Pick a name and stick with it.
I don't know.
You are Emma. We call you Emma. It's
Okay.
although
That's
all
just
of
who you are.
wow, who's this?
Da-da-da! A new challenger approaches. It's me, Sanna,
Wow.
as I'm called in the game, Arla Esta.
And as you're called on Twitch.
Called on Twitch, Poop Undertaker. Yeah. So I'll see you there, chat.
Hey chat. And
Yay!
as I call you, all the stars in the sky.
Right.
Or
I'm
duckling.
infinite, apparently.
Yeah, you are many things. You are
Yes.
both many things. But yeah, I've been looking forward to having you on for so long. Thank you for agreeing.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
I was super shy about asking.
You shouldn't be.
I know. But week one I was like, I wanna have Sanna on at some point, and Luke was like, yes, yes, and I was like, okay, we got an Emma next week, and then we're gonna look for someone else to have on, and then we'll have Sanna. And then it's been many weeks since then.
I'm the one you've been procrastinating to have.
A little
I
bit.
can kind of appreciate that.
I don't know. I always feel a little bit like you always seem a little bit busy. Like I know you're not a lot of the time. Like you're like I'm free, I can do anything. But I don't know. Like Emma here, like if I message Emma and say like I need to talk to you, Emma's like I'm here. You know, and I know that you're kind of the same, but I don't know. It's like I don't know. You're mysterious.
I'm a bit more elusive.
Elusive
That's
jump.
true.
Elusive
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You
Well,
backflip.
during the days I usually just study. So
Uh-huh. So yes, it's
Yeah.
good that I don't bother you.
yeah.
Yes, don't bother.
During the days or during the evenings, I'm all.
Ooh. Yeah, during the evenings I will cause you trouble.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't like to bother you, but it was your time. Next time,
Not.
Max. Remember the name.
So, in Luke's absence, I will just Sanna. Will you tell us about your history with the game Final Fantasy XIV?
The history with Final Fantasy XIV. That goes way back for me. I started playing, or I remember seeing like the trailers for the game when it was in its 1.0 release, and I thought it looked kind of cool. And I hadn't really been keeping up with all the bullshit, like with the beta. I was like 13 or 14 or something. I wasn't that old when I got into the game. And it was also my first paid MMO. I had only played like free-to-play MMOs, and I was very excited because it's Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I can't get into 11 because that game's too old. It's too much to catch up on, you know?
Yeah.
So Final Fantasy XIV was like obvious. I should get into that. So I bought the game, started playing it, and realized, oh shit, this game isn't like all those free-to-play 2D anime games. This is some heavy shit. And my dad's laptop was like in flames trying to play this game. It was like, I remember having almost burnt my lap from having like the fans go so hot trying to get something going in the game, and I only ended up with like 10 FPS. And like
I've been there. Turn
so
your
there's
sound
that.
off. Turn your sound off, and it got up to 13.
Right?
That's how it was with WoW and me back in the day.
Oh wow!
I couldn't see AOE markers on the floor.
Oh god.
Oh, and I thought WoW was like not that technical.
I had like a 2002 brick PC.
Oh shit! Yeah, okay.
And that
Maybe
thing was
that's
like,
too old even
nah.
for World of
And
Warcraft.
I turned down the settings, and Bill would always be like, "You're standing in the shit again," and I'll be like, "No, I can't see anything."
Shit.
And suddenly I'd be dead. I'm like, "Why did I die?" It's like, "I told you, you're in the fire. I can't see it." But yeah, so you started on Final Fantasy and you had 10 FPS.
I had 10 FPS going strong.
Hell yeah.
And I actually played for quite a while. I think I paid for my first month. Yes, I convinced my dad to let me do it, and he was like, "Okay, sure." He was also like highly suspicious, like, "Why do you pay monthly for a game? That's very strange of you." And I'm like, "Oh, but please, you can cut off some of my allowance, you know." But
Small Sanna.
yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked. In some aspects, I liked the game as it was. It felt mysterious and weird, and also like recognizable because it was Final Fantasy, a series that I loved. And in other ways, it wasn't.
Okay.
I remember being so sad, like, oh, there's a chocobo here! Like, I remember old Limsa Lominsa, and like, what is it called? The ale, no. The old Aetherite! The big crystal, you know?
Yeah.
It was located somewhere else before. It wasn't there, the plaza that it is now. It was inside the tower next to the plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And if you went down a couple of stairs, you found some chocobos. And I was so happy to see them. I thought they were so cute. And then I Googled and I was like, Final Fantasy 14, where to find chocobo. And people were like, there's no mounting system. You can't, there are no chocobos to ride.
Oh no.
Sad times.
And I was so incredibly sad. It was so sad. Yeah.
That is
I just messed around a lot with the game. I never came that far because I didn't have that much time to play. Because it was 10 FPS as well.
Yeah.
So I played like 2 hours every day, and also because the game capped you, so you couldn't gain more experience after a certain point, and you had to wait like 48 hours in order to be able to gain more experience. Yeah, it had really strange systems.
Oh, I'm here and I'm hearing this, but like I'd had no interaction with 1.0. Like,
oh yeah.
And then even 2.0, I heard that it happened, and I was like, that's a bit weird. Like,
yeah, you weren't missing out.
no, but like then 2.0 happened, and then finally, as Heavensward came out, I watched a video that showed like Shiva and like it showed the MSQ dungeon thing, the Predatorium, and I was like, that's weird, but like it seems cool.
Yeah.
And then like Heavensward hit, and like I waited, and then I finally got into it after hearing Brute Justice's theme for the first time.
Oh yes. I'm happy that got you into the game.
I love that guy.
Such a banger. Yeah, I guess my hopes were a bit let down because I was like dreaming about this game and I had like such an imagination for it, and it ended up just being 10 FPS of despair. But I still have like fond memories. I wrote a diary at the time. And I have some like snippets from like, oh, I met an archer in the game and we did some leave quests together, you know, and it was just so weird reading that now. But shout out to the archer I did leave quests with in Limsa.
When you were like 13.
Yeah.
But that's
I remember people being very kind. Like the community already then was like very nice.
Yeah.
And very mature, I think. Compared to like free-to-play random MMOs where some random Brazilian guy come up to you and like, are you Brazilian? And I'm like, no. So yeah, that's my history with the game.
Okay, and how did you end up meeting Emma and the rest of the crazy crew that we deal with on a daily basis?
Yeah, so I've always been like, when I play MMOs, I get to know like small bits of people, but I had never like had a tightly knit group or something.
Yeah.
And when 2.0 came out, and I was like, oh yes, I should get back to this game now. It seems like it's been freshen up, you know. and I leveled up to 50 all by
Oh,
myself
oh no.
with the help of Raid Finder and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I remember seeing what was it? Was it this? I'm not exactly sure how I got in contact with the FC,
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah.
a Swedish FC.
Nordavid.
Nordavind, shout out Nordavind. And I think it was like through some Facebook group. No, I saw the video on YouTube from like they had like a meetup.
Yeah.
And they had filmed it. And I
Oh.
saw them like, oh wow, all these people, they're from Sweden. They play Final Fantasy 14. That's so cool. And they had linked their Facebook group, and I joined, and I got in contact with the leader, and she invited me. And yeah, that's how I ended up there. Joined their team speak and like, hello.
Team
Was a bit shy in the
Our little
beginning.
baby.
Yeah, but then I think I disappeared for a while. Then I came back, and they were like, "Oh yes, you're back!" And some people like remembered me, and I don't know. And then it just happened, Started playing with everyone. Yeah,
Yeah, and then
yeah. So that's how I got to know Emma and Seth, and yeah,
And
Sanna
Esther.
was our little baby.
yeah. I was a wee baby then.
And now that is Luke.
No, there are no babies here.
When I met Luke, he was like 16.
Oh, I wonder how old. I think I was also 16 or 17 when I got to know. I know I was probably 16 when I got to know Emma and Marcus.
Yeah, but like we always saw you as our small baby.
Yeah, I guess at that point I was the youngest one in the FC, but then a couple of years later, some other people came and like,
But you
my
were still,
age was faded into obscurity.
But you're
so-
still always gonna be your little baby.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess it's nice to be like protected in that way.
Yes.
Yes, always protect the sun. But yeah, you've so essentially through your formative years of maturing into adulthood, you've been with these crazy people.
Actually, yes, they've been quite a big part of my life. Actually, yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. It really is. Oh, yes.
I love how Final Fantasy can kind of do that though. Like, it's the same for me. Like, the people I met in 2016 when I first started the game are still like my best friends today.
Right? I just think like even if the servers close down and something, I think we might still even have be able to talk to each other,
Yes.
But,
And I really hope we do.
even if the servers shut down, like, you're not getting rid of me.
Yeah, and also Final Fantasy XI's been like alive for 100 years, so I don't think we have that much to worry about.
Yeah, but what about when Final Fantasy like 20 comes out?
Oh shit!
Then we have
Our
another thing to play.
They have to make Final Fantasy 16 first, and that's gonna be another 10 years. So
Yeah.
Oh,
we good.
Plus, I think they're gonna milk Final Fantasy 14 until it's dead.
Like wow.
For sure, like there's
little
no
bit.
reason not to. I think.
Yeah, it's like the second or third most popular MMO.
I think only once somebody somewhere comes up with something incredibly innovative for the MMORPG genre that will just change everything, all games will stay the same. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think even if they did, the community side and the social side of Final Fantasy 14 it's going to be very hard to beat. Like,
Yeah, I think it will still have active players. Like Final Fantasy 11 still have a tightly knit community, even if it isn't that big. It still exists and gives Square Enix money every month, so they're happy. Yeah. The players are kind of happy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
so
that game seems so grindy though. Like,
yeah, I think they've like alleviated some of the grind. They have like a trust system as well, so you are able to do some things, progress by yourself, because they know there aren't that many people in like the starting areas anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared of grindy MMOs since stopping playing WoW. Like, doing daily quests every single day to get like one piece of loot after like 20 weeks. So like, no, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
You're like, nah, fam, nah.
Yeah. I mean, back when I quit WoW, I said I'd never play another MMO, and then Brute Justice appeared on my screen.
And
And,
then Brute
know.
Justice came into your life and like, come here, son.
he J kicked me into the game. But yeah, so as you can tell, I love Brute Justice quite a lot. So who is your favorite fight?
My favorite fight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that is so difficult. Like, I think just from like memory, you know, and the experience.
Yeah.
I think T9.
Oh god, T9.
T9?
Yes, because I remember there was like
the scariest one.
there was a group that had already cleared it in our FC, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna try and help other people, and we invite like one new person at a time because the fight is kind of tricky, and we don't want too many new people."
Yeah.
And I think I had just like joined the FC and got in comfy, and they asked me like, "Hey, do you want to do T9 with us?" And I'm like, sure. How hard can it be? And they're like, you should study up on a guide or something. And I was like, okay, sure. I had never studied a guide or anything. I wasn't like into that part of the game.
So hang on, your first raid was T9?
Yes! So
do you know how scary that sounds?
It's actually, but then I found like this text guide, and it was so long, and I'm like, wow, there's so much happening in this. And I remember kind of like skipping some classes and just sitting and reading and taking notes and like, you know, trying to be as well prepared because I didn't want to like make a fool of myself.
I'm gonna tell your teachers.
Please don't. So I studied up on the mechanics and things, and like, yeah, you know. The evening came. We were doing T9, and we actually got it after a couple of hours. Yeah, we did. During our first evening, so that was lovely. That was so nice, but it was such a mess. Holy shit, that fight is such a, like, reading the mechanics is like, okay, sure, you drop the meteor, okay, it's either you go in or something. Yeah, and then there's the heavens, the fall phase, you know, with the pillar in the middle.
And then
and the dragons.
Yeah,
the dragons like fire and ice, and I'm like, what?
What is happening?
Yeah. You know, back then, like, you could place way markers mid-fight. You can't do that anymore. So we used that for placing, like, where the dragons were going, you know? And it was, I don't know, I just remember that fight very, very fondly. I also like just the aesthetics and the throwback to 1.0, you know, and I don't know, it's a nice fight, I think.
I think it's crazy that your very first, like, raid was literally like the final boss of a raid tier, and you killed it on your first night there.
Yeah, but I say, like, I think we started at like 7 and we ended at like maybe 11, 12 or something, where people were so tired, but we got it, and 7 out of 8 people had already cleared it, so
yeah,
it wasn't.
I still think that it's really impressive. Like,
I might have died a couple of times. I don't know.
Nah, you carried them, right?
right. I did
Our raid team, when we did that fight, we were like stuck on that for a while, wanting to end our suffering with all the fucking delay every fucking where.
Oh yes, the lag. Oh my god, that was something.
I've talked about this before, but EU lag bad. Like, because you always like have to think so far ahead, or you had to think so far ahead just to like be able to place things in the correct way, because
Titan Extreme.
Yeah, like,
it was like the EU fight.
Yeah, like, but it was literally such like, it's like now when you have to like do this like so perfectly, you know, like.
Yeah.
But imagine that with like a lot of lag or delay. You have to like be super smart and be like, big thing.
But
Yeah.
that just adds to the level of like impressive that you both are. And then there's me, like I was there in Creato and everything was good and I was still bad.
Oh, but Heaven's Word was just such a saving grace, you know?
Yeah.
That was like that expansion release was just mwah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And we had so much fun too because we had like this meetup
Yes,
with
the
the FC.
release meet. Oh, that was
Yeah.
so lovely. And I got to see Emma for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
fellow shorty.
Yeah, that's when I realized, like, oh my god, you like short as me.
I'm actually 3 centimeters taller than you. I'll have
Yeah,
you know.
so I could hug you and kinda get into your bosom, kinda.
My boobers.
Your boobers.
Yeah, and Sanna took turns sitting in my lap and Enki's lap.
That's so cute. Wow.
It was so nice.
Yes.
And Enki was so kind and gave me like, because she's also lactose intolerant, and we both had a milkshake, and she was like, I got you covered. She gave me like a pill to get the enzymes going.
Yeah.
Enki's adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
It
Enki.
was so nice.
We all love Enki.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Enki, we love you.
We have to tell her though that she should listen to this one.
Yes.
Although just the very concept of Sanna being on it, like Enki will be there. I know.
Yeah. Enki!
But yeah, like so T9. That's
T9! That is a fight.
I remember the first time I did it. It was in
The bin.
the Alexander tier. Me, Ellie, Mashiro, who you guys haven't met, and Max. Max was like, if you haven't done Bahamut, I'm taking you through all of the Bahamut. And so the four of us, stupid and like ill prepared. I was playing Dark Knight despite the fact that I like wasn't a tank. Walked into Bahamut and did my best. Like I think I barely had like
You have a big sword. What can go wrong?
Yeah, I had like prototype Alexandrian gear on, like
Oh!
looking up at the scary dragon in like T5, and then like when we got to T9, that was like a couple of hours of like hard prog,
Yeah.
and we managed to get it down, the four of us, and like yeah, in one day we killed all 13 fights, and it was one of the greatest moments because like we were a little 4-person static. We were progging Refurbisher, A9, and like just like going in and being able to clear all of the old Bahamut fights, even though they weren't relevant back then. Like it felt like it made us better players because we did actually have to do the mechanics, unlike now where you go in there and just like murder.
Yeah.
So like
That's an achievement in itself.
Yeah, back then it felt somewhat difficult. Like I don't know how much of it was just our like being bad and like I can only imagine how many times Max just sort of looked at us running around and was just like, they're stupid. Because I can imagine.
Like headless chickens.
Yeah, like I don't know, Max is a long time player as well, and it's like I don't know, like he took us through there. Like if you know anyone who hasn't been through Bahamut, Max will take them, and he will spend an entire evening walking them through it, explaining every single fight and how it used to work. Like he loves them. He loves those fights. And then he goes like, when you get to
I want to do it with him. Just for shits and giggles.
What do you want to do with him?
I want to do T9. Ooh.
I mean,
naughty.
I think one day for his birthday or something, we should go and do like Bahamut synced.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That would be so
Oh
fun.
no.
I'm here for it.
My flashbacks.
I one day want to take him
Yes.
through the Bahamut Ultimate because of him
Yeah, I
taking
want to do that actually.
because of him taking me through all of the Bahamuts originally. Like, I really want to get a group together to do Bahamut Ultimate with him.
But now he
because
will hear this and he will already know your plans.
He already knows that I want to take him there, and
Oh.
like
Never mind.
he already like whenever you mention an ultimate, he's like, I want to go see Bahamut, and it's just like, yeah, I want to take you there. Like,
can we do Bahamut Ultimate? Yeah, we can, right?
yeah, but the problem is
Yeah.
we'll be synced down to level 70, so like say goodbye to
Ooh, yeah.
Stardiver. But I really want to take him there and get him his kill on that because he loves Bahamut so much. Like, I think that will be a huge accomplishment for him, and for me to like, I want to be there with him because for me to take him through the fight that he took me through originally, like, there's something like it hits me in my heart, you know, like.
That's nostalgic, yeah.
Yeah, like. I just wish that Ellie and Mashiro were still like active players because if the four of us could go and kill Bahamut, but like Super Bahamut, it would have been like woo.
You have to bring us instead.
Yeah, I mean that's not a problem, but you know, like, I one day I will kill Ultimate with him because he is the legend.
I will heal.
You okay?
You're blowing into the mic, huh?
She will heal. I think she said.
She will heal. Yeah.
Yes.
I will do whatever's required.
And Max can dance.
Wow. Yeah, I forget what I've got screenshots of like we took screenshots after every single boss. So I forget what he was playing back then. I know that Ellie was on Astrologian and Mashiro was on. Oh no, he was his Dragoon. Of course he was.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was a Dragoon main back then because I think wasn't the Warrior of Light the Dragoon main in Heavensward.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always tries to mimic the Warrior of Light. I think.
Oh wow.
At least a little bit. I don't think he's done it this expansion. Although I know that Dark Knight he hasn't even leveled it up yet. He hasn't done it this expansion. But yeah, he had the Dragoon AF gear and the Lux weapon fully like activated, and like he certainly was like an impressive figure when like we were all really bad. And I remember talking to him. Basically, I met him inside of an Alexander normal, and I was like, I'm looking to start doing Savage content, and he said like, I'm busy with work, and I was like, I don't care, you're coming with me.
Oh wow.
I did. I don't know if you guys have seen like the early episodes of One Piece.
No.
Yeah.
Well, basically, Luffy goes and meets Sanji on like a cookery boat. And he says, you're gonna join my crew. And Sanji says, I refuse. And Luffy turns around and goes, I refuse your refusal. And then just picks him up and drags him along. And that's exactly what I did to Max. And he's been in my party ever since.
Except for now, sadly.
Well, I mean...
He's still kind of with us. He's
still with us.
He's with us in spirit.
I mean, I talk to him like every day or so, and like... You know, if he ever needs something, I go and try to help him, and you know, like. But anyway, that's enough about Max. He'll be on next time if I bully him enough.
Yeah.
But now we need to get into the Final Fantasy change. Dun dun dun.
Oh, one change that I wish for.
Yeah, or something you want added, or something you would rather have removed.
Oh, okay.
Like, if you really wanted to, you could remove me from your party.
Oh no. That doesn't sound very good. But one change.
It's a difficult one.
It is a bit tricky because, like, at the top of my head, I can't think about too much that I want to change. I guess.
Or add.
I glamour. Glamour space, glamour plates, give me more.
Okay, look.
And also like to have job specific plates.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And I will add to that.
It's incredibly frustrating. Just so you can have like your AF gear, and you know, yeah, that's one thing I wish for more. I think that's definitely something that they might do in the future. I think.
Yeah. Oh, I will like that is something that Lucas said a lot, and I will just add the other thing: glamour dresser in your house.
Yes.
Yeah, well, what's up with that? Where is it?
Come on, I'm
I've
screaming.
been looking everywhere for it.
Yeah, it's not there.
But that's also a good excuse to always fly back to Gridania and
You go
get my
to
clothes
Gridania?
changed. Yeah, I always get to the inn there.
Sanna.
When I'm feeling spicy, I go to the Kugane Inn.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Bokairo Inn.
Yeah, when you're being fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always fancy.
What, you always go to Kugane?
Yeah, if I don't go to Crusarium, I go to Kugane.
Wait, you can get it done in Crystarium?
Yeah, except for like hairstyle, but we have that in FC in my house, so.
I mean, true. I go to Gridania every time. I'm not spicy at all.
I think I've never been to the Ulda one or the Limsa. I've always been to Gridania.
I gotta be honest. If I can avoid going to Limsa, I will. I don't think I've been to Limsa in about like 2 months.
I think I have my free travel point in Limsa just because it's so close to the market boards.
Yeah.
But
I just go to my house.
yeah, but usually when I try to check the market in the other worlds,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
easier. Yeah, then you have to be in like a big city.
I mean, even then I go to Gridania. I'm not gonna lie, like...
Gridania is nice. I like Gridania.
Limsa is full of people with them hasty touches and them quick tongue
You're like,
materia
no,
sevens.
don't hasty touch me.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, I don't know. Plus, I don't know what it is, but I tend to end up not liking people who spend their time in the plaza. Like, if I make an enemy, they usually like put up shop in Limsa somewhere. So I avoid that place. And you know, when we had to go to the fishing boat every 2 hours, it was horrible because I would see people that I didn't like and I'd sprint to the fishing boat and be like, send me in, send me in, send me in, send me in. And then like Bill would be like, look, Nixie's at the fishing boat. I'm like, no, send me away. But so you want more glamour plates and more glamour related things?
Yes, that would make me happy. That's the one thing I can come up at the top of my head. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of glamour, you main dragoon and your main weapon is the giant Moogle fork.
Yes.
And is there a reason behind it, or is it just it's the cutest one?
I don't know. I think when I got to level 50 and I did the Moogle hard,
yeah,
and the spear dropped, I was like, wow, this is like the most amazing thing I've seen in like any Final Fantasy game. I don't know, it just resonated with me. So I built my glam around it, and I've always just had it with me since then.
So, never changing.
And I had like this longing dream for the glowing version, you know? And it was very expensive back in the day because nobody wanted to do Moogle Extreme farm those kingly whiskers, you know? So they were like very sought after and nobody did it. So the market board was very barren.
Yeah.
And it took a while, but I remember trying to farm it with Inky and like some of her friends, but we never got it. We like gave up. But then I had a friend craft it for me. And I think I even remembered the date because I wrote it in my diary. It was like, I got the Moog fork. That was like end of entry.
That was all you wrote that day.
Yeah, basically.
So, I've got to ask, is it the same Moogle fork?
The one that I got from my friend?
Like, is the one that you used the same one from A Realm Reborn?
Yes. It's the one I got from my friend.
Wow.
It's the one I put it in my glamour dresser now, but it's that one fork.
That for like when you're looking at the I'm looking at the I don't know if I'm good at editing, the viewers will also see it's the picture of our clear of E6 where you're
Mhm.
standing there with like your hand like sort of above your hip and you're just behind Emma and you've got the big Moogle fork on your back and I'm
Yeah.
looking at it and I'm like that thing has been through so many battles. Wow.
Yes, this fork has been through a lot. I get very sentimental about it. It means a lot to me. So even though it's
treasure.
like maybe how much is it? Like 100K on the market board right now.
I
It
mean,
means a lot to you.
yeah,
It
that
still
does
means a
lot.
lot to me. Like I don't care. I never cared about the value. I just wanted the fork. It's amazing. Like what else is there to say? I think it's because all the other lances that the Dragoon have, they're very big and tall and
Yeah.
but this one is short and it extends. And it makes a sound like the little, little Moogle sound.
Yeah.
It's just so novel. I love it. I don't know.
I love it. You guys didn't know me through all of my time, but in Heavensward I got the like full set of pajamas, and that was my glam for like a year and a half, and I was just like hee hee hee. And now all of those pieces are carefully put away in the glamour dresser, and I'm like one day I will go back to you because that's how most people knew me. Like not anymore. Like I'm Gradanian soldier Nixie or like
Yeah, Detective
bulky
Nixie.
tank Nixie. Like I go through many glamours now. Although to be fair, like I don't know because like the pajamas are like my signature healer look, but my machinist look is like Nixie, like the detective Nixie outfit with the green.
Oh, the Charlene coat?
Yeah, like
Oh,
honestly,
that's nice.
if I could cosplay anything, I'd cosplay Nixie wearing that because that's like, ooh, like, but
Aw.
like that is like if you were playing a fighting game and Nixie was a character, that would be default one.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
like how we can say that Sanna would have the spear,
The fork.
and I would imagine that Emma would be in some kind of dress.
Shiva weapon.
She would have a bow.
A bow?
In
on
your hair.
your head.
Oh yeah.
Like
You
a
mean
ribbon.
like that.
I had the moment too where I thought
ribbon.
bow and arrow, and I was like, hang on,
No bards allowed.
bard Emma nani.
Nani?
But yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, very like we all have our like signature look. And yeah, I've gone through a couple, but the machinist glamour has stayed the same, and I've just added little bits and taken away little bits, and it's just kind of it is Nixie all over. But so we'll move on a little bit now to the less Final Fantasy related questions, but this one is still tangentially related.
Oh, okay.
So Sanna,
Yeah.
you are always very cheerful. Well, as far as I've known, like I've never seen you. I mean, we've seen you in a slightly like bad mood, but we've never seen you like. Well, I've never seen you in Emma's mood halfway through Reckless. Like you've never hit that level of like despair in content. You're always trying to lift people's spirits up, even when you're not feeling great yourself. You're always trying to like stay a little bit positive about the content at least. But you're always really hard on yourself when you make a mistake or like when something happens and you think it's your fault.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I'm curious, do you consider yourself more of an optimist or a pessimist or like somewhere in the middle? Like tell me about your mindset a little bit if
My
that's
mindset.
okay.
I would say that at the end of the day, I'm an optimistic person.
Yeah.
Like I always think maybe tomorrow is a better day. I don't know. I even though I've been feeling like a lot of despair or just not feeling good about myself or like oh shit I did so bad today or it can be anything really because it gets to me. Like even if something happened hours before raid, it can still kind of sting.
Yeah, of
throughout,
course.
and I can still doubt myself, even though I haven't even made a mistake yet, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm kind of hard on myself in that manner, but it's still, I don't know. It's easier. It's easier to help other people around you than it is to help yourself, you know.
I get
And
that.
I think I've always just been like that, trying to like get the mood, you know, like. And the mood around me is you guys, and I don't know. It's just an instinct. Like, no, don't be sad. No, we can still do this. Come on, guys. Like, I
Fourth
never.
time's the charm.
Yeah, but I always believe that if you put your time into something and just do it, you can make it.
Of course.
I always just think that, like, okay, we died again for the 10th time to remove, but we will get the clear. I know it. Let's
No.
just get there, you know?
Are we clearing?
And to me, it doesn't matter if it's 10 times or 50 times or something. It's like, okay, we'll do it another day, or I don't know. It never gets to me.
I really respect that about you because it really feels like when everyone else is like ready to give up and like say not again, like we'll try again later, you're like we can do it, just one more try, and it's like okay,
Yeah.
let's go again. And
Do it. I get the song in my head by Steely Dan. Do it again. Just keeps playing in my head.
and then yeah, I don't know, like every pool you're trying to you're trying to tell people like if someone messes up, you're like don't worry about it, like things will be okay, and like I hope that we're able to be that for you as well. Like
Absolutely. Yes.
like you're always trying your best, and when something doesn't happen, like when I mess up, I feel terrible about it. But like I can,
But I think that everybody feels like the way I feel when I make a mistake. I think like, oh, this is how the others feel, right? So when I think about that, it makes me like, no, I don't want you to feel that way. That's
yeah,
just sad.
yeah. So we don't want you
You
to
know?
feel that way either. So like,
Yeah.
don't try to be a little less hard on yourself if you.
Yeah. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, but you've
Yeah,
got
like
all of us.
I have the issue that's like I generally get so mad at myself because like I have pretty low self-esteem when it comes to messing up and stuff. But that's a story for another time. But like
And we can go into it.
I've noticed like when I'm trying to like help with like figuring out what went wrong,
Yeah.
sometimes I can like say it like in a way that I don't think is good. Like I like realize afterwards, like oh shit, I like it didn't mean it the way I said it, you know?
It's like you will say something and it will be trying to like help someone learn a mechanic, but the way you say it is almost like you're putting them on blast for failing it.
Yeah, well, like there was this one instance on Shiva like a few raids ago where like I think Sanna made a mistake and like
I remember it actually.
I just pointed it out, but I didn't. I guess I had like I did it like in a pretty like aggressive-ish manner. Like you don't get me wrong, it wasn't aggressive, but like you know what I mean.
You
Yeah,
said it in a
absolutely.
tone that wasn't
Yeah,
your
yeah, and
normal.
I didn't mean like to put the focus on that. I was just like trying to like help, but then I was like,
Yeah.
no, that's not how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
But I always
Yeah.
make sure to like say that and apologize like
Yeah,
afterwards.
but
of course.
I appreciate the fact that you like reflect on it, even though because when you're mid raid, you're like, I'm in the heat of being like
Yes.
sad about myself. You're in the heat of telling me I did something wrong. You know, it's a difficult
Yeah.
situation. So
Yeah, like I usually realize it like pretty quickly, so that's why I like made sure to like mention that like right away. You know, like
yeah.
that
I mean-
I didn't mean to like
Yeah.
make it sound like I was bashing you or
No, I
anything.
appreciate it. I get
mean,
it. Like,
I've apologized to
I
Emma
totally understand.
before as well. Like
Yeah.
during raid, I think that we all get a little bit heated after like a wipe, especially when it's like we were so close, like and then like when you do everything perfectly and you're super stressed and then we all explode and so like you see that someone else did something crazy and it's like why? Why are you doing a crazy thing right now?
Why are you
Yeah.
running?
Well, like I know, like I'm certainly not like perfect in any kind of sense, and like
No one is.
that's the reason why like I felt if like I feel like of course I can like help you guys out too, or like tell you like, oh well, this was what happened and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I also admit when I've done something, when I notice I did something wrong.
Oh yeah, me too. Like
Like when I was like doing shit when I was chained at one point.
yeah.
I moved back,
Oh yeah.
so I broke the chain or something that I popped. I popped the chain,
I think
and
we've
like
all popped the chain at least
yeah,
once.
well, like I'm usually quick to like say that I did a mistake
yeah.
if I know that I did a mistake, you know.
Me too.
And I
I
think
think
that's
it's-
important to be able to do
Yeah.
that.
I think it's that your raid group is like a space where you're able to like not get mad at each other, but just be like, hey, is something not clear to you? Ask or something.
Well, also,
Yeah.
Because that's the way I've been feeling with my previous groups, is that I haven't felt like it's a place where I can ask when I'm doubting something. Like,
Yeah.
guys, I'm not really sure I understand how this mechanic works, and I kind of feel stupid about it because everybody else gets it, you know. So
Yeah, well,
then,
you're
if
not.
you don't speak up, you're still stupid, right?
Well, you're not stupid. You're
So-
just like not getting like the
Mm.
exact thing you're doing.
but
Yeah.
I think
so
it's
I've been trying to be
important.
more open when I don't understand something.
Yeah.
Like, be honest. Just, hey guys, I don't understand this mechanic at all. You know?
Yeah, it's like when you remember that. Like I felt really bad about the way I worded it, but you remember when I once asked you how you died,
Yeah.
and I wanted to know how you thought you died because the mechanic had so many layers that the way that people think they die is oftentimes not the reason they died at all. And I think that you were a little bit unsure about the movement on one part. I forget exactly what the
Yeah.
thing was, but it was one of those things where I was like, okay, so I fully understand why you died, and I'm like the way you were talking, I thought she doesn't really understand, but I need to know like if I'm wrong about that. So I think that having a discussion about how people think the mechanic's going is interesting, and I think that you're completely right that it needs to be a safe place to talk about things because it will increase the speed of progression if people are able to be like, okay, look, I got killed by something there. I have no idea what happened. Help.
But I also think people have to respect that you're a fragile person when you make a mistake.
Of
Like,
course.
everybody is like that. So,
Yeah.
like Emma is, like, she tries to reflect on how she worded it.
Yeah, of
To
course.
not be too blunt, like,
Yeah.
you know? And I really appreciate that. Like, we're all trying to improve in
Yeah.
many different ways. And I really like that about us.
Yeah, well, it's also a thing like I feel it's good in our group where we can actually like. I know there was one point at Birds where you mentioned that you wanted like us to be quiet so you could like focus on that one mechanic, you know.
Was it me? Oh.
I think it was the teleport thing like in the beginning because you got like distracted when everyone kept talking, and I mean we're past that now. We can talk even though we like we teleport.
I finally figured it out.
Yeah, well, like
Well,
I mean,
you're calling it now a lot of the time.
yeah, and I mean it helped like when we were quiet, so it's like good that we can like voice to each other like if we need something.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
hey, I just need some brain space.
Yeah,
you
of
know?
course.
I love calling for radio silence when it's like an important moment. Like even now on second
When we're
portals.
counting Femton.
Well, yeah, counting femton or second portals. I still say, can we get some radio silence? Because I find it really difficult to talk over people when we're like in the middle of a pool. So I see the mechanic coming out. I'm like, I know where I need to be, but like people are still shouting. I'm like blue bad. But like second portals, I try to say like, okay, give me a sec. And then the moment like I call the first thing, it's like, yeah, just talk again, like mean
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
But like, I think it's important to have that little bit of like, can we take a moment to just think about what's going on?
For sure.
And like I think that our group has a really good because of our weird calls and stuff, like we get into such a good rhythm when we're at our best.
We have a good dynamic.
Yeah, but like even like I always remember what mechanics come after what because of like the cuddle puddle and like social distancing mechanic, like just all of these crazy call outs that are happening. Even AoE and then partners and then Ferrostorm. Like
Slide.
Tits and ass.
yeah, like all of these things just like it, that your call out of like tits or ass is how I remember which way I need to face it in the like upcoming phase. I'm like, did Sanna talk about the boobs or the butt just now?
The feet.
Ooh.
Ooh. I wonder when we'll get that mechanic.
Eden Savage 12.
I was so sure
Moogle
that
feet.
Yes.
I was so sure that the Shiva was going to be inside of a giant boot. Like I thought that Shiva's mechanics were going to involve stepping on us. Like I was so sure of it.
Oh, because of the tap.
Yeah, like I was so
She
sure
does
that they were gonna.
extreme, yeah.
Because people love that moment, right?
Mm.
So I thought that they would have gone a bit harder on that, but she ended up being a clothes-changing magical girl.
Just diamond dust me, mommy.
She's got nice shoes though.
Oh yeah, I'll give her that.
Like I'm kind of into Shiva's feet.
Okay, now.
Until she actually gets undressed and you're like, no, you're like 12! Yoshida, what are you doing?
Yeah. But
Yes.
yeah, like I think that our group has a really good like sure there are moments where we say things and it's like don't say it like that, ugh. But I feel like in terms of helping each other out and like trying to figure out what went wrong on a pool and stuff, a lot of the people in our group are like very upfront, like yeah, that was me, like I won't do it again, I need to wait another GCD before doing this thing, like I was just trying to play it dangerously, I won't greet anymore, I'm sorry Emma, don't kill me, don't punish me, say Femton.
Unhappy Femton.
No, but like
Sad femto noises.
Frustrated Femton noises.
on Remu, we didn't even get a Femton in the end.
No. There was no Femton. We didn't deserve a Femton.
But I'm the only one that really cares about the Femton. Like every pool I'm like Femton, 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 yay! And everyone else is talking normally and like, I don't know. I feel like I'm very weird.
No, it's a good type of weird. We're all weird.
Yeah, but like I'm very weird.
We're all weird.
Yes.
Oh, yep. Oh, okay. Okay. So now, finally, raid time is over.
Mm-hmm.
You're a very creative person, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, sure. I guess you could say that.
I've seen a lot of your beautiful artwork, both of you beautiful artwork, actually. Like, maybe... I'm actually glad that Emma's here, because we can actually, like, back and forth and conversate this thing, because I'm the least artistic of the three of us.
Are you though?
Oh, but you have your own art, right?
Yeah.
Don't you?
Sort of, I doodle occasionally. But like the difference between my doodling and like Enki's doodling is like I'm 5, Enki is
I'm
like...
talking about your writing.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
That's also a creative endeavor, you know?
I mean,
It's
yeah.
not too different from drawing in like the mindset and the place you have to be able to do it, I think.
True enough. So, speaking of the mindset and the place you have to be to do it, what inspires you?
What inspires me? That's a really good question.
Can't do that.
I always think of like what got me started with drawing in the first place.
Yeah.
And of course it's video games. Like yeah, as I've told you before, when I was younger, and I
Yeah.
got to tie the Tasmanian Tiger for the PlayStation 2, I
Ooh.
just really loved the character designs. They were so cartoony and cool and edgy. So
Yeah.
I just sat all day and drew the characters from there. And then
Okay.
when I moved on to like free-to-play MMOs, I really appreciated the different classes and their costumes, you know? And I always sat and drew whenever I was waiting for something or, you know, in front of the computer. So it just happened.
So
And to this day, it still inspires me. Like, I think video games
Same.
has such a rich world of art, but also like many old picture books, like especially Swedish ones,
okay.
have such incredible art, you know. I don't know, you know, Petson och Findus?
Yeah.
Yes! What is it called? Sven Nordqvist, I think the illustrator is called. And I don't know, just looking at those pictures, I don't know, it just it gets my creative juices going.
That's amazing.
There are so many things. There are so many things that inspires me.
A picture of a mukla.
En muckla, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna see what a mukla is.
Okay.
They are so cute.
If I am a good editor, which I'm not saying I am, I will try to show something. If I will try to be a professional here, and what you're showing me is possible to be shown.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know, but like to make something, I don't think I always have to be inspired either. I can just like
you can just
no, I can just
bunny girl.
you know, trying to pick a challenge or something for myself. Like,
Okay.
okay, Sanna, just draw feet or something. I don't know. For example, just a
Why does it always
you know?
come back to feet?
So this is gonna be a picture. It's spelled like this. It's one mukla and like multiple muklor.
Yes.
Like the cat there, it's Findus,
Okay.
but the other creatures are muklor.
Yeah, you should show some pictures on the podcast, maybe, with
I
your
will.
magical editing skills.
Yeah, like I've got like a day and a half to actually edit this rather than the like 20 minutes before bed. So like we're in a good spot right now. Like we have time, everything will work out and it will come out on time, I promise. But yeah, that will be shown on screen. We will see the mukla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Emma, how about you? Like we've just heard about the inspiration that Sanna has. Like, are you similar, or is there like another like boom?
Well, like I've always been like very into drawing, like as a kid as well.
Yeah.
I've always loved coming up with my own stories and like I I basically like wrote down, like I had these little journals where I wrote down like fan fictions and stuff for Digimon and Pokemon and stuff like that. And I even had like a tape um, recorder thingy where I recorded like my stories. Like it was like a script where I voice acted, like changed my voice and stuff like that. So I like drew for that as
That's
well, and
super
like
cool.
yeah.
That's
So
adorable.
and I've always like loved anime since I was like little.
Yeah.
And video games, obviously. So obviously, it has been like a big
Oh yeah,
inspiration for
anime
me.
too and manga.
Yeah. So I like tried to like imitate, and like I had a lot of those like really bad fucking drawing manga books and
oh,
stuff
they're
like that.
amazing. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
So at one point, like I tried to like learn properly by like tracing pictures. You
Yep.
know, when I was a kid,
We've all
like
been there.
when I had like this manga book where I took like the page that I wanted to and put it like to the window and like
Oh,
had a paper above it and like traced it that way,
Oh,
you
like a
know.
light box. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
like
so cute.
so that's what I did like when I started like drawing properly, like not just kid drawing, but it was like a very good start because usually even if it's like not a really a good thing to do,
Hmm.
when you're starting out drawing, if you feel like something is very difficult, um, you can practice by tracing, like as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
Like
I
as long
still
as
do. I
well,
still
as
do.
long as you don't upload it and say like I drew this completely on my own, you know, like
Hmm.
stuff like that. If you just keep it to yourself and like kind of like okay,
It's a tool for practice.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
that's
it's
all it
like
is.
it's really good
Sure.
to do.
Yeah.
Um, and like it's always like I still have references. Like I usually the best thing to do is like if you're having trouble, like I don't know how I should position this hand or this arm, like doing this thing. The best thing you can do is either like ask someone like you're with,
Hmm.
or like just take a picture of yourself
Yep.
like doing the thing.
Do the
The
thing.
Oh,
thing.
I've forced so many friends to pose for me. Like, can
Yeah,
you do
well,
this with your hands? Can you do this with your arm? Oh,
because then you
That's
can like
amazing.
kind of see like
my
how
poor
you're
friends.
going to do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you kind of start getting a basic understanding of like how the joints work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's good shit. So, but I've also been like a part of a lot of RP groups and deviant art through my years, and like made fan characters for different video games and like animes and stuff, and that has also sparked me to like go on and like I love drawing art for Final Fantasy 14, like
Yeah.
you know,
I've seen some
Yeah.
of your comic stuff.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that like you both are like so creative and yet you have some of the same like obviously I'm under the well you didn't know each other back when you first started but you both kind of followed similar like techniques of like taking pictures of people to like it seems like it's like
It's like the
these
natural progression
yeah
of all artists.
Mhm.
yeah I think that's
I
kind of
think.
amazing
Yeah.
but ow. So my question is do you guys want to like have a future where you do something like artistically? Like Sanna, you said that you like a lot of game characters. Would you like to design characters for games or draw
At
picture
one point
books
in
or
my
something like
life, yes, I would like to know how that is. Like, the way I see my future isn't just one career path set in stone.
that?
Sure, at the moment I study computer science, and
Wow.
I'm really like I think it's super interesting, and I would love to work with it. But
Mhm.
it's not something I could see myself doing my whole life. Um,
Okay.
Perhaps, but that's the great thing about games is that you can combine so many things and just make something, you know? Like, I can be good at programming, I can be good at drawing, even some music in there, and bada bing, bada boom, maybe you got a game someday. I don't know. But also, like, working for somebody else, I can see myself doing that as well.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know what the future holds, but at some point, it would be great to see my design somewhere in, like, a commercial product or something. That would be a game, even. Wow. That would be kind of amazing.
How about
I
you, Emma?
personally am a bit more darker on that kind of sense. Like
Ooh.
I do sell like art and stuff,
Yeah.
but I know that the market is so tough and it's so hard to get yourself out there properly,
Yeah.
and like it's a lot of competition going on, and like as much as I would love to work like with art, for the rest of my life.
Wow.
At one, I don't know, one part of me is like trying to be rational and be like, well, like it's very uncertain, so you should try to do it the safe way of like doing like art on your free time. You can still sell stuff on the side, like even if you're having another job and stuff like that. And I can still draw if I have time, But
Yeah.
personally, like what makes me the most happy is like if I can like draw stuff, for example, as I did for your video.
It hit me in the heart that you wanted to support the video that much. Like, I can't overstate how important you are to me.
I instantly recognized.
Like, just the very
I was like,
idea.
what? Emma did something for this that I haven't seen? What?
Yeah, I've
Just-
kept it a bit of a secret.
Just the very idea that you wanted to put that much work into, like, something that was essentially like silly. Like, I was making it for fun. Like, you made the drawing for fun, obviously, but like
Yeah.
it was like I've never had anyone be like as passionate about my projects as you are.
Well,
Like,
it's fun for me when like people are having fun too,
mm,
and like that's what sparks me a lot to do stuff like that, and that's why I'm also
same.
like working on the portraits for the actual like real videos,
Mate, I'm so stressed out about those.
I'm still working. I'm currently working on Sanna's portrait.
Oh,
Ah,
come
so
on.
excited!
Yeah. So then I only have Escher and Kata left, and then I go to Bada Bing Bada Boom, just do the finalizing, like
Yeah.
with lines and coloring, and then they're ready to go.
Yeah, but even with this podcast that you are currently listening to, or part of if you're here right now,
Ooh.
you, like, even today, you've obviously got a lot going on at the moment.
Hmm.
You, like, I asked if you were okay to come on, and you were, like, extra enthusiastic. Like, the moment you heard that, like, Sanna was gonna be here, and, like, like, we kind of needed you, you were like, yeah, I'm in, and it was like this moment of, like, you actually really want to support this, like, uh, not dodgy, but like this like production that obviously none of us are ever gonna get anything out of, really, besides just the fact that this video is going to exist.
Yeah, well, I'm having
But it's
fun with you
fun.
guys, and that's what matters to me.
Of course, but like the fact that this podcast is like something that we do every week, and that you're like so enthusiastic about joining, just really it means so much to me. Like, you wouldn't even believe, like, I wouldn't have the courage to actually make this without you.
Aww,
And that's kind
That's
of
so
getting
sweet.
all sappy here.
Ah,
and
the
that's kind of
sap.
the thing with all of the stuff with the projects and stuff. Like, I've always wanted to make these videos and like put this time and effort into doing these crazy things. Like, yeah, let's have a podcast where we just get to know people and talk for like about random shit. Like, I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do stuff like this. Like, I even said it in the first episode that like this has always kind of been my dream. But like the fact that you guys are like so supportive of it and like people actually watch it, like, Nani?
Of course.
Yeah,
I
but
even watch it even though I'm in it. Ha!
yeah, you're insane. Like, I watch it while editing it, and I'm like, please stop talking about the random stuff. Move on to the next topic so I can put the header on it and then move on.
But I find it relaxing to like listen to when I am working on drawing and stuff like that.
I get it. And to be honest with you, I'm looking forward. I'm giving it some time so that like I can almost forget about it. So when I re-listen to it, it's
It's
like,
all
I
new.
remember that. Like,
Yeah.
But that's gonna, like, it's kind of what, like, it's really important to me, and I'm glad that you guys are here, and like this is like the greatest time of my life.
Aww, Nixie.
Yeah. So I'm eager to support any future like endeavors that either of you or anyone who's on the podcast is going to do. And as much as you say it is hard, and of course it is, I think that you all have the talent to do crazy things. Like the amount of effort and like passion you guys put into your stuff is it's insane. Like I can't.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be realistic because, like, I know what it's like to be, like, at rock bottom economically and, like, having to rely on others, and, like,
Yeah.
I can't handle that.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying you should jump into full time trying to make that
No,
work.
of
Like that's
course.
just not feasible for anyone. I think. Like even now I'm like living and struggling myself and doing what I have to do. But you know I'm hoping to get into writing one day.
Yeah, I'm sure
But
you will.
I need lots of practice before I'm capable. Which is why like D&D is like so good because I can just be like, ah, here is my crazy story that you guys are now in, and you're like, wow, and then like sometimes people are like that was stupid, and I'm like, yep, you know.
Yeah, when I play D&D, I do a lot of stupid memes for it. So,
I can't wait to do D&D with you because you're just gonna be like, Nixie, what the hell?
it's gonna
Like,
be fun. You're gonna
yeah,
love it.
Sanna, you need to join.
All right.
Sanna's like, no.
We will capture the Sanna.
Sure.
Yay!
Yay!
It's only the people we already play with anyway.
Well, then I
Yeah.
feel safe.
And
Yeah.
Miru.
Yeah. But I think for the one shot, we have too many people. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to do my best to get everyone up to speed and to know how to play. And oh, it's like
I know how to play. You don't have to worry about me. Ah.
okay, well you can help me teach others then. You're going to be my like. You're the raid leader and I'm like the co-raid leader, and now like I'm the DM and you're like the co-DM for when someone goes like, what's an attack roll? And you're like
Let me tell you.
But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Like I love doing things like even though I love playing the game, I love doing like crazy things outside of the game as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, both of you, but like one of you at a time. So let's start with Sanna. Do you have an artist that you really look up to?
An artist, just
Or
one.
artists like you?
There are many to name, but like the one constant in my life, I would say, would be the character designer for the earlier Final Fantasy games, Yoshitaka Amano.
Oh my lord.
Ooh.
He has always been like such an inspiration for me, and I really look up to him. And I've bought so many of his art books, and I just love his very dreamy, wispy style, and it really sets you in the mood of like, ah, yes, this is Final Fantasy. But he's done so many other things outside of Final Fantasy. Like he made some designs for tarot cards, and
Ooh.
I guess he's just a freelancer at the moment.
Okay.
But his style, he has always been like, he doesn't care too much about conventions and stuff, like how you're supposed to do something. Because if you look at his drawings, you can say like, oh, that looks a bit iffy, like, because it does look a bit iffy. It doesn't look very anatomically correct or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You can see that he's really got the fundamentals down. He's really good. If you look at his earlier work, it's like incredible. Like when he was 15, 16, he got a job as an animator.
That's crazy.
And did some incredible stuff. And now he's just doing these wispy, dreamy things, like just on another
He's
plane.
developed his own fucking style.
Yes, and it just resonated so much with me, and I will always look up to him. That's the guy. But also, like, just not to be all sappy, but in our group, like when I joined the FC back in the day, the Swedish FC, when I first got to know like Emma and Enki, and I think it was like Emma or the leader or someone was like, "Oh, there's Enki, she draws too," like, and I was like, "Wow!" And then I got to know Enki and saw her stuff, and it's been so nice to just see your drawings like all the time ever since then. And you guys also inspire me to keep going.
Duh.
So yeah, because you're also keeping on, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have like this my idol, you know, and then I have like my community that I also look up to.
I think that's a really good way of being there. Like being in a community that is like also into the same thing and also working hard, because it makes you want to like continue working hard, so that like you
Yeah.
could, like they share something, you're like, that's amazing, and then you share something, they're like, that's amazing, and like
And it's always I didn't have that before when I started seeing your guys' stuff, and it was like, oh, there are other people too, and they're making nice things, and they have like such different styles, you know.
Yeah.
I really like that it's like such a good mix of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
all over
I
the
really
place.
agree with you on that. Like I do have like a hard time picking like this one big idol thingy, you know, for me, because I have like a lot of sources in that kind of sense, I guess. But there are like two big influences that has always been with me. Like my style doesn't look anything like theirs, obviously, but like mainly like Kyoto animation, like
Oh yeah,
their style is like everything is so good about it. It's so soft, and like the colors are so nice, and like the details and like the eyes and like everything is just so
and it's
good.
super recognizable.
Yeah, that too. Like it's so good. But also, there's this one artist. Like she made a manga. I really love it. It's the do you know about the manga Otome Yokai Sakuro?
I'm not sure.
Like the artist who made it is called Lily Hoshino.
I'm again not sure.
Her art is absolutely lovely. I love it so much. Like those two have been like a big inspiration for me. Like everything. But she is unfortunately on a hiatus.
Yeah.
She started her manga, like the Otome Yokai Sakura one, 2016. Oh no, 2006. I mean, I'm sorry. And then in 2016, she went into a hiatus to take care of her newborn that she had gotten. But she is still not back. She draws still sometimes and puts it on her Twitter. But yeah, so I don't know when she'll be coming back. I hope she still does, because she's such an inspiration. But yeah, like, and then I have like the same kind of thing as Sanna. Like, I feel really inspired like when I see like Enki drawing and Sanna drawing, and like, you know, it makes me feel like I want to put in my like best effort, and like I get so happy when I see like when they draw, and like, you know, how they develop as well, and you know, stuff like that. And also a friend of mine who has gained quite a following. She's called El Waifu. Yeah, she's been like a friend of mine since like 2012 or something. And she's a really good artist, and She lives off of it. But she's helped me a lot with my drawings and like figuring out how to color things and like doing things like in a better way and like giving me critiques on my art and like helping me out like that.
Yeah.
And she's also been like a really good friend. Yeah, stuff like that. So
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing really to add. I am not an artist, really. I could talk about books, but like, it's not really the same, and like that's not what this section is about. But I think it's amazing that you both have such like vivid like art focuses like and communities and people to help you and all of this stuff. I think it's really important to help hone your skills, not in a vacuum. Like doing something on your own is like fine, but like when you see someone else do something, it's like, I want to do something sort of like that.
Pushes you further.
Yeah, and then you're like how would I draw that? And then it's like, wow. I think that you guys are like, I think it's super good that we have like this art community within our little community that is like always like actively doing stuff, and it's crazy. Like I spent the other night just laying there watching Inky draw like hair and like ears.
Yeah,
Like it was
and
like
Mira is also drawing. She's like
yeah.
really good at it. And wow.
Yeah, she followed me on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, wait, I recognize you. So it's nice that we become more even, like more people are here to draw.
I think it's super nice. I want to get good one day at drawing, but like I have so much stuff to do, like everything piles on
You
top
have time.
of me.
One day.
I mean, when I draw, I'm kind of like, I just want to do this because it's fun right now, and then like I get into it, and I'm like, yeah, like I want to finish my drawing of kicking Satoru down the stairs, but like I'm bad, so I'm working on it, but slowly. But then like I'm making videos, and then I'm like writing, and then like, and then I need to record this thing and put it out every Monday, and then it's like I'm under a big sea of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
But one day.
One day. I will learn to draw cool things, and you guys will be like, "Wow, Nixie," or "Wow, Harry, you like got good," and I'll be like 250 years old, like I found the time eventually. You know that's gonna be me.
No.
I'm gonna have a big white beard like Ramu.
But then I will be dead.
How?
Because I'm older than you.
But women live longer than men, so this is fine.
So I'm gonna die first. Good.
No!
No! Let's get out of this dark hole.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm gonna live forever. You don't have to worry about that.
Good.
I promise. But let's skip past this one. Sanna.
Yeah?
From a conversation we had, like, not last night, the night before last, which, when this is uploaded, will be the night before the night before the night before last.
Oh, you're disappearing!
You're lagging!
Why? Why am I lagging? No lag.
Okay, now you're not.
Lag, go away.
Keep talking.
Okay, so, I think I'm gonna lag. I'm worried. Wow.
Oh, he's cutting out again now!
He is gone.
Give me one moment then, I will throw my internet out the wall.
Throw it in the bin.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. Doo-doom. And then plug it back in. Okay, let me know when I'm back.
You're back.
Wow, hopefully it's good, and I'm back for good. But yeah, Sanna, we had a conversation like 2 nights ago that when this is uploaded is going to be several nights ago.
Yeah?
About, and it's led to this question. What animal would you describe yourself as if you had to be an animal?
If I were to be an animal, what animal would I be? Just thinking about what makes me me, I don't know. I have really short attention span.
I don't see you as a goldfish, though.
Sanna would be a cute little pupper that cheers everyone up.
Just so happy.
Yeah.
You're definitely an animal that people enjoy seeing. Like.
Oh, like a cat. No, wait.
I think a cat is a little bit too like sly and smug for you. I don't think you've got that like.
Yeah, cats are assholes.
Yeah, I don't think you've got that like. That like sneaky. You're not like you're a cat boy, but you're not a cat boy. Like you don't do the cat boy crouch or the cat boy lean forward.
Oh, you hate the cat boy crouch.
I hate the cat boy crouch, and when the cat boy sort of leans forward with his bad posture and looks at you like, nah.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I don't trust any cat boy that does the lean forward or the crouch.
Do you trust Luke?
No. But he doesn't even like the lean forward or the crouch. You know.
Owling.
A what?
Owling. When they're
Owling?
sitting down.
Oh yeah. When they're hanging with their hands between their legs.
Yes. Owling.
No, but don't badmouth the elves like that.
But it's called owling.
It's like the Slavic squat, like the cat boy in his Adidas tracksuit. Like we're not doing it. It's not.
Tripolowski.
But yeah, no, it's not an owl. It's a weird cat boy. But yeah, you're not a sly cat. No.
I don't know what kind of animal I would be. This is difficult.
A cute, happy, fluffy pupper that everyone loves and that is like really distracted by things. But,
like,
but everyone,
yeah,
but everyone still loves the pupper so much, and the pupper makes everyone happy. That's Sanna.
Oh.
I could see that, yeah. But the real question now is, what is Emma?
Oh God, I don't know. What am I? A cow.
Why a cow?
I don't know.
You like grass?
Grass.
Nom.
No, I have no idea. I've never thought about that, actually.
That's why it's a good question.
That's the day I realized what my persona is, and I still haven't realized.
What kind of animal do you think I am, then?
You're reliable. You're always good for the motivation. You always care about people and how they're feeling.
Big think.
You are. Like. You have You are a big thing. You're harder to tell than Sanna. Because you're like Sanna has like a few extremely like, how to describe them, like not loud but like obvious personality traits that just shine through. And like you are like more complex, like like you have like a darker streak than Sanna, but you're also very cheerful.
Maybe you're the cat.
Yeah, maybe I'm the cat.
You're the smug cat.
But I don't think she's sly. I think she's too honest to be sly. Like, I don't know. I feel like she wears like her emotions on her sleeve.
Cats aren't sly.
Oh,
they're
they
just
are,
like,
they're sly.
you know, they're free roamers. They own the world. But they can also be very, very caring, and they know when something's wrong. That's how I see cats.
That actually sounds quite a lot like Emma.
Right?
Sneaky. Well, not sneaky. You're not sneaky at all. But you definitely have the other features. Wow.
Yeah, I can be like feisty and like catty, like with my claws like out when I'm angry. Like,
meow.
Yeah, I could see that. But now what am I? I'm difficult.
I don't know. I get like the image of a tortoise.
I could see that.
Right?
I could see that because I feel like I'm the sort of person who's like, yeah, it'll get done when it gets done, and like, although like,
Time isn't an issue.
yeah, but I'm like also not that patient. Like with the video, I was like, it needs to be out because like Emma's got stuff going on, and I want to clear her up with silly videos. Yeah, and then like, I don't know.
But I also think of you as a big, cuddly, fluffy Papa Bear that like you try to take care of everyone and like be all sweet and like you're protecting us and stuff like that. And you're like, don't be mean to my little children.
My cubs.
Yeah.
So I'm a bear that has a big tortoise shell. Actually, no, a bear would make sense because of the fact that like bears sleep for like half the year. So like they're clearly not in a rush for anything.
Yes.
And I
Nixie's a
do
big
like
bear.
eating fish. I'll be a big bear. Although I'm not that big, I promise. Like, I think we're the three smallest people.
Probably.
With the tiny gang.
Yeah, tiny gang.
Gang.
Gang. But, Gratatea. His name is Gun Sounds. Gratata.
Don't bully one of my Hispanos. One of my many Hispanos.
But yeah, I like that. I will treasure that.
Our big fussy bear Nixie.
Yeah.
It's like I've got like I know this is completely off topic, but there was this moment in Raid last week when we were fighting against the angry lady that hits me with her swords with twice. You know the one. And I forget what led to it, but like I was like, what about me? And Sanna said, I can hear your smile, and it killed me for that entire run.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I can't tank properly now. Like that's all I could think about.
I did.
Yeah, you said it, and I was just like, wow.
I remember that.
I literally couldn't stop smiling for that entire run. Like,
yes.
I was like,
a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, I was already smiling, but it was like, you know, when you're just like, wow. And I was hitting the boss, and I'm like pretty sure my rotation just went straight from where it was and
In the
into
bin.
the bin. Yeah. If we like, I know we weren't gonna clear that run, but if we had cleared that run, you'd have looked and there'd have been like 4 GCDs where I was just like 1 on my keyboard, 1 on the keyboard.
That's why we didn't clear.
I'm pretty sure I faced the big the big cleave into the party that run. Like wow, hit me really emotionally right where it hurts.
Hasty touch.
It wasn't. It was like a long lingering touch, careful touch.
Yes.
Careful synthesis of my heart. Wow. But yeah, that was like incredible. But yeah. What is your favorite season?
My favorite season. Oh, I just love seasons. I love the transition in general. It's like, and you can see it's so apparent in Sweden as well. Not anymore though. What the fuck is going on outside? But
global warming.
but probably like fall or winter. I would say fall. Because it's such a nice in-between season, between like, the sun hours are like gone soon, you know, no more sun. And like you're able to put on your long-sleeved shirts and get your comfy jacket out. But it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I like the mood and like
and the colors.
And it's
of
also
the
such
trees.
an apparent transition with all the leaves, you know. Everything is just it's nice. I very much like it.
Okay, so I agree completely, but I would say that I will go one further because I always say winter because it's easier, but I will say late autumn. Like not
Okay.
not autumn when it's still like sunny
In
and
its
hot.
early stages.
Yeah, like when it's becoming winter, but it's not quite winter yet. Is kind of like the time I'm like, I wish it was like this all year. But it's not. Like the summer is the worst for me, especially with my like
Yeah.
weird skin
I just
condition.
get bad eczema all over my body.
And
Wow.
here I am. I'm like, I love summer.
Ah.
You can enjoy melting.
Well,
Like,
it's
I
like,
also like summer, but it's like, yeah, it's not as good compared to the
but
other.
it's this season which is like everyone like are so like generally like happy and like you can hang out with your friends and it's like light outside so long
Yeah, that's
and like it's so
nice.
cozy sitting outside like really
Sure.
late with your friends and like going for a like random midnight bath in the river and like just having fun.
I wish I
Cozy
could go for a
fun.
random midnight bath in the river. That's like the one, actually. Like I've never done anything like that here because that doesn't exist.
Oh,
Oh, we
Like,
have so many like random lakes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a place where people take a dip sometimes.
that's
yeah.
super cool. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I come from like the city, and it's the the countryside here is like mostly unpopulated. Like, there's a lot of like little towns and stuff, but I've never stayed in any of them. I don't know how they treat the summer, but yeah, I mean, we put up a little swimming pool in the garden, like an inflatable one and whatnot. But
Aw.
you know, I go out there and I like aggressively get splashed by my little sister. You know, and then like I pick her up and I threaten to dangle her in there. You know, the normal things. But yeah, because of the
Sounds cute.
because of my skin condition, it's a little bit like annoying because even with sunscreen, it's like I'm gonna look like a red panda tomorrow.
Do you have like eczema or?
I have vitiligo.
What is that?
Oh,
It's the thing that like Michael Jackson had, where
I
he
don't know what that is.
I've got parts of my skin that don't have pigment.
Oh.
So if the
they're extra
sun,
sensitive.
I never used to
Or
be, but like yeah, essentially I burn, but only around my eyes, on my like there's a few little spots on my hands, and in the from my perspective, the right corner of my head has like a white triangle in it. So I get like big circles around my eyes that are bright red and a triangle in the top of my head.
like a panda, the
Yeah,
red panda.
Bear
essentially.
Panda Nixie!
Aww.
Panda bear Nixie.
Cute.
But yeah, I just have to be careful, and it's
Hmm.
why the summer's like not that good for me.
Yes, the sun is a deathly dead ray. Like,
Yeah.
But the
it
thing is,
wants to
like,
kill you.
for me, it's like I have a hard time getting a sunburn or anything.
Oh,
Or
me
like
too.
I can get sunburn, but I can't get a tan. That's what I mean. Like I have
Okay.
a really hard time getting a
Oh,
tan.
I get tanned so easily, so I just go with an umbrella outside during
I
the
just
summer,
like
for real.
I just like get red for a while, and then when the redness dies, it's like, ah, I'm back to being pale again. Thanks.
So before I had this skin condition, the only time I've ever been burned was when I went to Egypt. Like before that, I
Oh.
would go out and be in the garden like all the time. Like we used to have a huge trampoline out there, and I'd just be like out there for like 8 hours, and I never burned at all. And then like I went to Egypt once, and it was like actually this place is just horrible. Although I did go swimming for like 9 hours every day, and some days I would go out there twice. So
Yeah.
you know, I may
That
have
makes
not
things
been
worse.
I may have not been the smartest, but it was like it was what I wanted to do. Like I love swimming.
Yeah, same.
I'm a water type Pokemon.
Wow.
Same.
Yay!
I love being in like big waves, like wow. So I'm washing away, wow, but I'm swimming back. Wow. Stuff like that.
What type of Pokemon are you, Sanna?
Hmm. I thunder.
Ah.
I've always liked fire types. So I
Fiery
guess you
Sanna.
guys will destroy me.
No, we will only love. No destroying.
No destruction.
No destroying. But that means you can't come swimming. Wow.
But I love swimming too.
Yay. So maybe you're like one of those that big dodgy Pokemon that's fire and water.
I'm Volcanion.
Yes,
I'm
that's
water
his name.
and fire. What?
Yeah!
I kind of hate his design. I'm so sorry. He's so dodgy.
Yeah, it looks a bit weird.
Like I know that a lot of Pokemon look dodgy, but he in particular, I'm
He's
like,
extra dodgy.
why do you like when he originally got like leaked? I was like, nah, that ain't a real Pokemon. That's like some 13-year-old Steven art drawing of a Pokemon, and then he
Then
was
it
real,
wasn't.
and I was like, oh no.
Oh fuck.
But I don't know. I don't know. I like swimming, but there's only like public pools here, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go and like pay for a gym membership to go swim in your pool. Gah.
Good.
So I end up only going swimming on holiday. But then when I go on holiday, it's like every day, twice a day, I will be in there. Sploosh.
Sploosh, splish, splash.
Yeah.
Whoosh.
Wish. But now, the final question before we call it a day. We're over time, but it doesn't matter. I love talking.
Ha ha ha!
And plus, this gives Enki more stuff to watch. You know? So, Sanna, given infinite money, infinite setup time, infinite everything, what would your perfect birthday be?
Given what?
Given infinite time, infinite like help and like infinite money and infinite like everything,
Okay.
what would your perfect birthday be?
My perfect birthday would
Mhm.
be getting a cake, my favorite cake from a local the local bakery we have here
Ooh.
in Uppsala, from Gunterska, it's called. We're
not sponsored.
Gunterska. They have like this white chocolate raspberry mousse cake, and it's so good. I love it. So I would get that,
Okay.
and then I would try to get as many of my friends as I can, pay their fucking flying tickets, whatever,
Zoom zoom.
and get them here to Uppsala, and we would sit at the bridge along the river that goes through the city and eat cake and talk and just be cozy.
That sounds adorable.
That sounds lovely.
But it will also be in the middle of the winter, so bring warm clothes.
Yes. Sounds
Because your
awesome.
birthday is in the middle of the winter. I was like, oh. I was like,
So that would be a perfect birthday.
Okay.
Sounds like a lovely birthday.
Yeah.
That does sound really good.
I thought you were gonna say that sounds really gay.
That's what Luke would have said.
Yeah. I wonder how many comments he'll make. I expect a full transcript of if I was there, I would have said blank. Although I don't think he's crazy. Like if I wasn't on the show, that would be what I'd do. I would put in my like I would have been like this. But yeah.
I would have done this.
But yeah, that's super cute.
Yeah. If I had the money.
One day I'll become infinitely rich and powerful, and I will summon all of the people. Yum.
Heck yeah.
Same.
Wish. But
Wish.
yeah, that's super cute. I hope that one day that is able to be wished into reality.
Yeah.
One day, I hope.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna become super successful soon, I promise. Yeah.
I'm gonna make that fat developer money, hopefully, and save
Ooh.
up so I can bring y'all here.
That'd be so cool. But yeah, I guess we should begin winding down.
Yeah.
So before we go, Sanna,
Mhm.
number one, thanks for being on the show because like
Thank you, Sanna.
Thank you for having me.
we're gonna kidnap you back for more episodes in the future for sure. Because with you covered, we've only got a few more people that need to have their first episode.
And then we will become recurring characters. What? What?
Can you imagine when I've like asked a billion questions? I'm just like, come on and chat. We'll talk about like I don't know. Looked at my shelf, Yu-Gi-Oh for like 2 hours. It was on my shelf. But so is there any like social media that you need to that you are wanting to be like yeeted into?
That I have to plug here. Okay.
Essentially.
I got a couple.
Okay.
So I recently got my Twitter account purged, so I have a new one.
Okay.
It's the same name as my Final Fantasy game name. It's Arla Esta. So you
It
can
will
find
be
me
in the
there.
description.
Yes, absolutely.
I will need you to
and I will
send me the
mostly
link.
just upload art and random thoughts that I have. So
You know when I need to follow now? I want to hear the random thoughts.
Just follow my random train of thought. I don't share much politics or such, so there's nothing of that there. I also stream on Twitch, Poop Undertaker.
I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah, and Max too. He's a bigger fan.
That's because I can't watch you while also being there.
Because you're with me in raid, silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Poop Undertaker on Twitch. I just streamed Final Fantasy 14 when we raid. I've been wanting to do more.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't really followed through with any of that yet. So
you should. You're like super like a joy to be around. So I imagine that, like I imagine
so
that
I've
if
heard.
you
I also sorry.
If you actually did like consistently stream, I think you would gain a pretty big following.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm just glad somebody would like to watch. That would be kind of nice. Just having a conversation. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also have Instagram. That's where most of my art is currently. I don't upload too much of my art. I want to get better at it, but it's on Instagram under the name of Blu-ray, and it's not like the Blu-ray format. It's with an I, so not a Y.
I'm gonna be honest, it took me like 3 days to figure out what your name was.
Yeah, it's super weird. I'm trying to get away from it, but everything will be in the description, hopefully, so give me a follow if you like my stuff.
I've been really good at doing that.
Yeah!
I even put Luke's Instagram in there that he doesn't
use. That's great.
I put my Discord handle in there.
Just follow, get on with the chat with me on Discord.
Yeah, come find me.
Come find me. Yeah.
But yeah,
but I don't think I have too many other things that I actually use. Like I have a DeviantArt, but it's embedded. You know, I haven't used it for such a long time. I have an art station where I want to put up because I've been 3D modeling as well. Getting into that, so that will get on my art station hopefully.
Okay, well, if in the future you need me to add more things to the description, like let me know. Like,
yeah, if people in the future listen to this and I have like this full-fledged 3D career, you can see me on ArtStation. Hopefully. Heck yeah. Yeah.
But I think I'm in my bed now, so I think it's time we wrap this up.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming.
Yes. I'll see you guys in the ass or the tit.
Yeah.
As we say.
And birds.
And birds. Yeah, birds next, actually.
Oh no, not the birds. Not the birds. But anyway, bye.
Bye.